All right, everybody. Happy Friday. It is a cold day here in Texas, but I'm going to get to work on taking out the amplifiers for my Bose acoustiwave system here. So, why am I taking them out? You might ask. Well, I am going to take them out to send them over to Bob over at carstereohelp.com. I'll post some links here in the description so he can repair those amplifiers. So, just a little bit of backstory. On my right-hand drive FD here, it came with the Bose acoustiwave stereo option, and originally I bought the car. The had the stock head unit in it, and the radio wasn't working. No big deal. That just happens when you buy a right-hand drive car, because the frequencies that they use in Japan is not the same here in the United States. And okay, fine, there's ways around that, but then the CD player wasn't working either. So I figured, okay, let me go ahead and change out the head unit, which I did, which I do have a video where I kind of talk about that. But when I put the head unit in it, I discovered that only one speaker was working. So a lot of times, if you have the original Bose system, what it is the amplifiers. So there are, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different amplifiers for the Bose acoustiwave system. You have one in each speaker in the door. You have a center amplifier that is just underneath the dash, and then you have two amplifiers which is in feed the subwoofers, which are in the trunk of the car. So and just like anything, they go bad over time. They're just kind of one of those notorious pieces that if the system isn't working, that's probably what's causing it, is the fact that the amps went bad. So, I mean, the system doesn't sound terrible. I mean, the one speaker in the door is working, the rest kind of aren't. Well, my subwoofers kind of are, but not really. I mean, it sounds okay, but I think it could probably sound a whole lot better. So the parts, obviously, they're discontinued, so you can't really find them anymore. I had no such luck on eBay finding replacement amplifiers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them over to Bob over at carstereohelp.com. Like I said, I'll put his link here in my description. I talked to him on the phone just the other day to confirm. He was super helpful, just to confirm that they still repair those products. So those are, if you want to retain the system, it seems like really your only option is to try to repair it. The good news is, from what what it sounds like, is that if somebody is handy with a little bit of car stereo repair, it doesn't sound like it's all that hard to do. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking out my old amplifiers, and I'll talk you guys through the system, through how to do that here as we go. So, all right, back in a little bit. All right, so first I'm going to start with taking out the amplifiers in my two subwoofers back here. So I'm back here in the big old noodle or worm or whatever back here that is the acoustiwave system. Now the the amplifiers are just below the two subwoofers. It's an interesting setup, but the two subwoofers kind of face each other opposingly in that little area there. So I'm on the left side of the car right now. And like I said, the subwoofers, or the amplifiers to those, are just underneath it. So what I need to do is access those in there. Shouldn't be hard to do. I think you pretty much just take all these little hex head screws out, and then that cover comes off, and then you can get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that, and I'll be back in a hot minute. Alright, so I was kind of wrong about how to take it out. You don't really have to touch those hex bolts at all. It's just bolted to the frame of the rear trunk of the car. There, and there. And then this side over here has a little quick release thing that you kind of take off, and the whole thing just comes out. Once you do that, you can see that's where your two amps are there. You need to disconnect them from the wiring harness there, but those are the amps there. You can see where it goes inside and connects. So I should be able to just take those little tiny bolt screws off there, and then I think the electrical connectors just disconnect from the front side, so or from the underside once I get that off. So all right, back in a second. So yep, that was it. Just two little screws come out, disconnect those electrical connectors there, and then the two amps come out just like that. And as you can see, I mean, these parts, they just get old over time. It sits in the trunk, who knows? I mean, condensation gets in there. Anyway, who knows? They just get old over time and stop working. So that's it. Those are the trunk pieces. So I'm gonna work on the center amp now. All right, so now I'm going to get started on removing the center amp. So the center amp is basically located under the dash there on the passenger side. So whether you're right-hand drive, left-hand drive, either way, it's going to be on the passenger side. It's relatively easy to get to. Basically, you just drop the. Let me zoom out there. Basically, just drop the glove box and take that plastic part off, and then this plastic part off here, and then basically you'll see it in there. You'd basically, well, once I get this parts off, I'll show you. It's not too hard to get up, but all right, back in a second. All right, so that is the very top of the amp, of the center amp right there. There's just two bolts holding it in place. One that you can see right there, and one that's kind of back there. You can't really see it, but you can get a socket with an extension in right through here to get to it. So you undo those two, and it kind of slides down, and then you just undo the electrical connector, and it comes right out. All right, back in a second, and I'll get started on the door. All right, and there it is. There's the center speaker, or center amp. Like I said, fairly easy to get to, fairly easy to come out. All right, back in a second. All right, so I kind of cheated a little bit. I think the discretion is probably the better part of valor here. And so I actually got this door speaker off eBay. I didn't yank the ones out of my car simply because, I don't know, you know what, I don't want to yank off the door panels and risk breaking clips and plastic pieces and stuff like that. So, and like I said, the one passenger side is working just fine. So, anyway, I got this one off eBay. Once you get the door panel off, this is what your door speakers will look like. It's this big sort of box, and it's going to have little bolts around the periphery. Basically, take that off, and then the amp is going to be on the inside, connected to the speaker there, and then that's what it looks like. So you just take that out, and yep, same thing, little electric connectors there, and that's it. So I'm going to ship these off and get them repaired, and I'll probably post a video a little bit later when I get them back. Bob said it should only take about a couple day turnaround, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this fixed the problem, and you know, my stereo system sounds pretty good. Who knows? We'll give it a shot, and I'll let you guys know. So have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you in a little bit.